Hi, I'm Lyle Johnson. Welcome to Moose Show this week. And today we're talking to groups and people who have received recognition recently in the Citizen and Group of the Year Awards. And really happy to be able to talk to some of my friends in the community here. And of course, Eric Campbell was chosen Citizen of the Year in a very unique and diverse group of people. And so, Eric, welcome to the show. And congratulations on your selection as Citizen of the Year. It's a great honor, and you're certainly deserving of it. We were reminiscing before because we went on air, but we were talking about you as an educator. Of course, your career is in education, and I was just thinking as I was preparing for the thing of how proud your parents would be because they are so much embody our commitment and to community. Your mom, of course, for many years, different kind of organizations that she worked with, and your dad worked for the city at one time, and he also is continually involved. Now he's living at Elbow, I think it is,
Yeah, that's
and
correct.
he's still involved with doing things for his community to make it a better place to be. So I think they're very proud of you, and well, they should be.
Thank you. Yeah,
Now,
thank you for having me, Lyle. You talk about your folks, right? You talk about your parents, and good volunteerism and good commitment to the community is something that we've always done as kids, and as my parents would always be contributing to something, whether it was creating tournaments or events or volunteering their time or coaching, helping kids, whatever it was that they could do to contribute, they would always do it. And that embodies some of the stuff that I like to do, and my brother and sister continue to do it. It's
yeah,
just how we grew up, and because we do things for others, it feels good. And I hope my kids then see that and continue on with the tradition of helping people, because it is a wonderful thing, and it does fill your bucket a lot.
yeah. Now, of course, you along with others were recognized at a dinner sponsored by CAE and the Chamber of Commerce and a luncheon thing, and it was a nice thing. What a collective group of wonderful people. I was going, I'm glad I don't have to make decisions because every one of the people nominated has made a significant contribution to our community, and so I just want to make sure we notice that they I got the names written down here beside Darlene Geib, Jared Matheson, Jody Oakes, Laurie Kozier, and May McGuire Jackman. And
Yeah.
they were all nominated with you. And they all have good things. Now, one of the things that blew me away, because, being an educator, there's lots of things that you do that are part of your job, like teaching classes and stuff. But the coaching aspect after school and involvement with students is not part of the job
No,
that most people that you're paid for, and yet as a teacher and educator, you want to do that.
that's right.
To be the connection with the students makes it so much better an educational experience to see their teacher doing things with them, and not as a teacher, but as a person who has something to share with them. And first, it got me eight
Yeah,
teams. There's eight
yeah.
teams that you volunteer with.
Yeah. It is it when I was first starting as a teacher, someone said similar to what you just said to me was, if you want to connect with kids, they got to see you as a person, and if they like you, they'll learn from you. Kids always learn from people they like, and I always found that getting connected with kids through sports or activities or extracurricular, and we're just talking about sports. I mean, all
Yeah,
sorts of volunteer stuff that we do at school, like it would blow your mind sometimes. But the uh, the commitment to working with kids after school has never been a bad decision for me. It's always been something that I've done because I find value in it. I know the kids do too, and I know the parents see value in when the school's working with the kids after hours. And when we talk about like all the teams we do, like I mean, I work with my kids too, right? Like I have my son and daughter Jack and Ella. They all play sports, and I want to be involved. And so I get involved with their teams and their organizations and whatever it is they're doing. If they need a volunteer, I always volunteer. I never say no because I want the best experience for my kids and all the kids that are there, because it is a great thing to be a part of, kids having fun. And if you've ever done something like that in your life, or and if people are watching and they're like, hey, I'm nervous to get involved, don't be. You can't go wrong when kids are having a good time, and it just feels good. And I would comment on, 8 teams, yeah, seems like a lot, and it can be, but, without help from, my wife, Carol, I can't do all those things. Like, I can't volunteer so much
Yeah,
because nothing else would happen. So,
yeah.
um, it's truly a family event when it comes down to helping
Yeah.
people.
Well, I was going to say it's nice to have a family rink too.
Yeah, that helps too, yeah.
Yeah, Eric's brother on his acreage has built a rink in the backyard for his kids and
Yeah, yeah, that's
to
quite a
come out on.
facility. Yeah, it's awesome,
Isn't
right?
that something? Yeah,
Yeah, we do a lot of
yeah,
stuff out there. I was out there with Jack last night actually, and it's been great. Like it's just, and that's something. I mean, Curtis has always been that way, right? He's been welcoming to all of us from the family and coming over to his yard, and
yeah,
we're very open people, right? We want to help each other, and when we have something great, we want to share it,
yeah,
and that's just how we're raised. So.
yeah,
I'm thankful for Kurt for that stuff, and he knows it. I mean, I see him all the
yeah,
time, so it's a great place.
yeah. So let's just talk about the things you manage or coach 8 different sport teams, but there's other things that you do in the community as well that are at your newly minted principal at Lyndale School,
Right? Yeah.
and and that's being a principal of an elementary school has an awful lot of uh, demand demand on your time for like administration. That
Oh yeah.
there's the paper. I was so happy that you found time for us to fit in today.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a school day right now. I'm taking a few minutes to myself here, and it's if you've ever been to an elementary school at what is it 9:45, it's
Yeah,
a busy place. There's 300 some kids here, all doing a great job, and our teachers are working with them,
yeah,
trying to help them learn the things they need to know. Working in an
yeah,
elementary school, you get a chance to see all this stuff happen, and that's why it's so important to help kids, right? Like that's
yeah,
you want them to be able to achieve the best possible situation in their future lives, like to achieve their highest level of standing and whatever it might be, and however we can make that happen, whether it's supporting them after school or coaching
yeah,
them or just intervening when they need some help. Like that's what it's all
yeah.
about. So,
What schools have you taught at? I think you this is your second time around at Glendale, is it not?
yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, so I actually did my internship here. I don't know when that year was, maybe 2009 or something.
Yeah,
And then they hired me on right after that. I worked here for 6 months or whatever, half a year. Then went over to Westmount for a year, 2 years, I guess it was. Did some work at Riverview. Then went over to Sunningdale for some time, maybe 5 or 6 years, something like that. And then went over to King George as a vice principal there for a year and a half, 2 years. And then now I've been here for this my fourth year here at Lindale.
man, yeah. I was just thinking, we as a reflection before the show, that you and I got to know each other doing a project at Sunningdale, and it
That's right.
was that was a huge project that you kind of made. I'll make this application, and all of a sudden you had it,
Yeah,
and I particularly enjoyed the commitment of your fellow staff members, who jumped in with you, both feet, to
yeah,
do the things that needed to be done, and it was about World War I and learning about Canada's place in the world.
that's
Um,
right.
and it's called Grizzly Remembers,
Yeah,
as you mentioned. And it's but that for me was a wonderful year, and I got to be a resource person
yeah.
in the group, and it was just neat how they did it. And kudos to you, because it's not something you have to do, but something that enriches the lives of the kids by doing it.
Yeah, it was a massive project. We won a federal grant for it. I applied for it with help from my sister and some other people. And once we won it, then I realized that we're on the hook for this. And then this is a big event that we need to do it right. And it took a lot of planning and it took a lot of communication with my colleagues. And I remember walking into some rooms and being like, "Hey, listen, I got this great idea, but I'm going to need your help." They're like, like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, I've signed up for something and I can't do it alone. So
Yeah,
man, we had some of the best times at Sunningdale with that staff, and I'll never forget them. That was some of the best work that I've done as a teacher, and I couldn't have done it without the people in that building and the
yeah,
board office and people like yourself. I mean, we reached out to people all over the city to support these kids, and we had there's 400 and some kids at Sunningdale, and we were able to teach them all something about Canadian heritage through that work that year. And my middle years staff and my grade 8 kids were a big part of that, and it was crazy and it was fun, and I'll never forget it. It was probably the most
Yeah.
enjoyable experience as a teacher I've had
So far.
so far.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more to come, and
I'm sure. I hope
of
so.
course, yeah, yeah. But it's really nice. Of course, other things that you've done in the community, you participated in. Well, your mom was a really good recruiter of getting people to be involved.
Oh yeah,
She has that special knack, and I'm glad to see that you carry it on, as do your brother and sister. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Mom's amazing. She can do anything. She's an incredible lady, and
yeah,
she does amazing work for people, and she's never afraid to ask for anything,
yeah.
and she'll
No,
push towards success no matter what it is, and she doesn't quit,
yeah.
and I love her for
And
that, and it's a
yeah,
great thing.
yeah. And Storm and Norman isn't a bad guy either.
Yeah, Norman's a heck of a guy, and
Yeah,
he's taught me a lot over the years about working
yeah,
with people and learning to help people and talking about uh, just respecting all. And he always says, "Never burn a bridge." He always says things like,
yeah,
"It'll build character," and it resonates with me as an adult now, and
yeah,
the things he's shown me as a boy, and things I learned now. So he's one heck
yeah,
of a guy, and I'm so proud of him. And yeah, it's
yeah.
just been a good run.
Well, we started off with pride about parents and their kids, and we're going to end with that. Congratulations to the people who have had the opportunity to work with you in this past while to be recognized as a citizen of the year for the community. Obviously a great choice, and congratulations to you for that.
Oh, thanks a lot, Lyle, and I appreciate the opportunity here. It's been really great, and thanks to everybody for getting on board with some of the great stuff we do here.
Yeah, yeah. All your friends who've been voluntold.
Well, volunteered, but with a smile.
No, yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Okay, thanks very much for talking to us today, and we'll move on to the next segment, which is going to be talking about the group of the year. So thanks very much, and congrats, Eric, and we'll see you right back after this message. Thanks.